If the Watcher's unconscious ramblings are to be believed, then Aethys's plot to destroy the wheel is a surprise even to his peers. The other gods betrayed him before, and now he means to rule over them. It's an ingenious plan, but one we must stop for the good of all. Ah, the Watcher returns. The pirate's promise is cheaply made and easily broken. We waste valuable time on talk. That is indeed interesting. Of course. After all, this is bigger than us. But it is bigger than the Juana, too. If that is true, then I hope you can forgive me for wondering how Ukaizo was lost in the first place. We have a formidable fleet at our disposal. Of course, were we to deploy it, I doubt there is any argument you or I could conjure that would sway a god, if we had a way of tracking him. They do make breaching your palace look rather easy, wouldn't you say? Our ships are fast, sturdy, and well-armed. They would have the best chance of surviving the storms and confronting Aethys, as well as how you plan to defend it now, when you cannot keep pirates from your own palace. Perhaps you'd care to make that boast at the Brass Citadel. I guarantee our cannoneers will have a ready answer. Of course, tracking Aethys to Ukaizo remains a problem. The prince has fled, but there is little he can do now. The queen is dead, and the seat of power in Deadfire is ours. The queen has escaped, but there's little she can do now. Our soldiers have taken control of the district, and will do the same throughout Neketaga. Indeed, and the sooner you can be underway, the better, and we shall see to it. As for your passage to Ukaizo, Karoo can introduce you to your conveyance. She shall meet you at the Brass Citadel by the docks. It's a terrible shame, this dreadful waste of life. Still, the skirmish here will forestall much longer, bloodier battles in the future. I hope that comforts you as much as it does me. With one decisive battle, you've crushed the chances of a long and costly insurgency. Why fire a cannon when a knife to the back will do, eh? Many would see this as a cruelty, but you and I know it forestalls a long and costly campaign. After all, why fire a volley when a single shot will do? So, it's done. Thank you. You have helped us secure a victory that would have cost many lives. It may not seem like it, but this is a bargain. The prince's death will be a blow to her, both strategically and politically. And we now hold the seat of power in Deadfire. It is only natural to feel conflicted about change, uncertain for the future. I shall return to my office in the Brass Citadel once I've seen to matters here. I have no doubt that our chanters will write songs of you for generations to come. So we shall. Clear skies. Their expeditions grow too bold, and their officers too greedy. I do not have the precise location of Pokokahara, but the tribe on the nearby island of Tikawara could probably help. I suggest starting there. Now, what else can I do for you? Go to the slaver outpost on Crookspur and kill Master Kua, the ringleader. His associates should scatter. That explains the rumors the Valians are scaling up in Queen's Birth. I'd hoped you would stop them. In any case, Hazanui Karoo has a matter that could use your help. Excellent. My reports confirm a certain amount of confusion in Queen's Birth. Don't keep Karoo waiting too long. She isn't a patient woman. However, I have it on good authority that the slavers have made enemies of the Wahaki. They may be willing to help you. Please, accept this on behalf of the Hazanui and myself. You've been invaluable to us. Your real reward, the passage to Ukaizo you were promised, is nearly ready. Karoo only requires help with a final matter before it can be done. Then you are one step ahead, indeed. I hope we return victorious. I'm certain Harama would agree. He's well, after all, thanks to your decisive action. I'm certain Harama would have agreed. if he were here with us. Twaha reports success and sends her thanks for your swift intervention. Twaha is safe now, but unfavorable circumstances forced her to depart sooner than planned. Rauatai values your service, as do I. And I can think of no better reward for the rough country's finest sharpshooter than a peace such as this. I won't keep you. I know you both have plenty of business to attend to. But what of your own assignment? Twaha believed in our work here. It grieves me to say that she is no longer with us. You have aided your countrymen with distinction. There is no higher honor to which a trencher may ascribe. Maya has been assisting with plans to work toward peace in some of the more tumultuous parts of Deadfire. Peace to all. One day, then we must take what we can. You've always been self-sufficient and resolute in purpose, Maya. It surprises me that you should discuss your orders so freely. At ease. When it comes down to it, I know you will always do what must be done. Watcher Nui, the Lord of Cadnua. Watcher Nui, the Lady of Cadnua. Watcher Nui, the hero of Hasongo. I'm pleased you've taken me up on my invitation. I'm not one for ostentation, but your remarkable display at Queen's birth suggests that you are an individual with skills, not mere style. This should encourage them to develop the resources they have, rather than reaching for more. For all their faults, they don't lack imagination. I'm confident they know of our intentions, because governors like Clario are a rare breed. Most of the Valian administrators care little for the well-being of the Huana. If your abilities allow you to do that, then perhaps you are also capable of the opposite. Find the luminous Adra at Pococahara. Render it unusable to the Valians. Does a true-born son of Rauatai need to ask? Does a true-born daughter of Rauatai need to ask? If the Valians claim Pococahara, it is the locals who will truly suffer. There is no need to be coy. I can see you considering the angles. I respect that. Rauatai is a mighty and wealthy nation, and with trouble brewing in the Deadfire, you'll find it useful to have an ally that is both. Deadfire is a tumultuous place. Consider the value of an ally with ships, cannons, and the backing of a great empire. Nevertheless, I'm more interested in reports the storms around the islands have cleared. What do you know of this? And if that's the case, then there's more work to be done. Work that you might be able to help with. She's currently meeting with the Queen and the Valians at the palace, but she'll want to speak with you once they finish. One that should bring you special satisfaction. A thriving slave trade disrupts the Deadfire. I've determined that it's being run from the island known as Crookspur. Why petition the gods when you can do it yourself? Getting rid of them. Slavers sow chaos wherever they ply their unsavory business. They uproot communities, disrupt trade, and attract the vilest criminals. I'm afraid it would be too bold for us to send our own forces, especially since some of the slavers operate legally and with the blessing of certain Valian officials, especially since you've already established cordial relations. If they don't take your head off first. Rauatai has interests in a stable Deadfire, and in earning the favor of our Huana brethren. The slavers threaten both goals. I'm glad we understand one another. Simple mercenaries are too easily swayed by coin. It's hard to know where their loyalties lie. Besides, you will lend an air of legitimacy to the operation, of which you are the very best. It is not news to us. But action without proper planning is as bad as inaction, a rare speciality, and an extremely valuable one. Adversity is merely another form of opportunity. Besides, we will learn much by studying how the Engwithan's machinery has shaped Sayuka. Karoo is currently monitoring matters in Sayuka. But I'm certain she'll call on you when she has need of you. I'm sorry I could not tell you about them, but Karoo is most protective of her ships, and Nekataka rides with loose tongues. The Rukapa are our finest warriors, on land or at sea. We had to secure Crookspur against further attacks from the slavers. Or pirates. I surely didn't lie to you. I was only trying to keep the details simple. Karoo is most protective of her fleet movements. I'm afraid she'd be quite cross with me if I spoke about them. Even to you. I'm relieved you see this. These days, Deadfire is like an old Valian wedding feast. Everyone is obsessed with relative position and quick to take offense. I sent you precisely to avoid the kind of uproar that would arise. Don't you have business with the Queen? Her office is on the main floor behind the large double doors. It's most conspicuous. They had long been a thorn in our side, but one we were hesitant to remove on our own. You've done us a considerable favor. I am Atsura, Grand Secretary of the Royal Deadfire Company. It's my business to look after the mainland's interests here. You are direct. I appreciate that. The demand for luminous Adra has sent the Valian Trading Company into a frenzy. Your recent adventure at Poko Kahara has illuminated a curious link between luminous Adra and the weather. I place little value in fancy trappings. The Juana and the Valians decorate their latrines with gilding and coral, and the Principe cling to faded riches. And it's a pleasure to meet someone of your elegant manners. I wish I had been there to see your grand entrance at the palace, but I avoid Serpent's Crown as much as possible. Hazanui Karoo will want to meet you as well, but she is stuck in Serpent's Crown. It is a place of entirely too much talk, and I find that the more talk one hears, the less it means. Nekataka is full of boastful tongues and bold claims, but none have accomplished what you managed at Hasongo. So I see. Rawatai has long maintained trade interests in the region. While our homeland is rich in saltpeter, the violent climate and rocky soils make it a poor source for most other basic staples. You are most canny, but I think we can do plenty for each other. That is a Valian frivolity. Leave it to them to observe a substance that occurs nowhere else on Aora, and immediately set about pulverizing it for profit. Nothing. Shall we speak then of the bathhouse where luminous is burned for the pleasure of idling wastrels? Or of the potions and powders made so that the rich can chase their youth? We know too little about luminous Adra to understand the consequences of ripping it out. For now. But what will ultimately win out? The Valians' drive for innovation, or their hunger for wealth? Besides, perhaps you can help me keep them from doing more harm. Such is the world we live in. Were it different, all the locksmiths and masons in Aora would be out of work. And here our neighbors include a nation of pirates and a fractured people led by a figurehead. To say nothing of the Valians, restoring the luminous Adra at Hasongo was an incredible feat. One I would have thought impossible. I hear you accomplished an incredible feat in restoring the luminous Adra near Port Mage. Worse, their rapid expansion attracts pirates and threatens the outlying Juana tribes. This risks souring the Kahanga royals against all foreign involvement. But you can curtail their growth. By snapping up land we need to grow food and build ships for our people? Indeed. But our interests and Deadfire's are not mutually exclusive. I'm aware of your good standing with them. I mean no disrespect to your personal friends and allies, but Consider that the Valian Trading Company is about as unified as the Huana tribes, and the priorities of its officers do not always align with the long-term interests of the republics. Put enough food before a dog, and it will eat itself sick. The Valian Trading Company's leadership acts on behalf of its investors. Their goal is a quick profit, no matter the eventual costs. Fortunately, there is an easy remedy. The Valians have sent an expedition to Pococahara, a storm-wrecked island believed to house a vein of luminous. Fascinating. And most encouraging. You've proven most valuable. Accept this as a small token of our gratitude. We'd long suspected something unnatural was behind the storms, but we had little evidence. Yes, I seem to have forgotten myself. Forgive me. I did not mean to impose. Not at all. They'll press-gang the locals and tear Pococahara apart. Their progress will leave Deadfire a used-up husk. Quite a lot, I think. In any case, I understand Karoo has you occupied with other matters. I shall leave you to them. And why not? Thousands of years ago, our people came from the archipelago. By one reckoning, we have as much claim on these islands as the Huana. But our purpose here is trade. It's not about what the Valians are doing to us, but rather to all of the Deadfire. We are powerful allies with a formidable fleet and mighty cannons. I'm sure we can come to a suitable arrangement. On the contrary, this concerns everyone in Deadfire, because catastrophic storms have long made Rawatai a difficult land to inhabit. If the storms that assail Rawatai have a similarly unnatural origin, then perhaps they too can be stopped. But I called you here to discuss another matter. In time, unfortunately, they've been allowed to operate here for years. I may have heard that certain persons of influence in the Valian Trading Company have connections with the slavers, but the larger problem is that they were allowed to settle in here in the first place. For that, the Huana must take responsibility. This is a failure of the Huana leadership. Why, if the Huana had marshaled their forces, the slaver problem never would have reached this extent. That it has is a failure we must lay at the feet of the Kahanga royals. The world is a hard place. Should we make excuses for those who do not face its trials? 2,000 years ago, our people began the conquest of Rawatai. The land was new to us. Many of its inhabitants were better equipped, but we overcame them. We were unified where they were scattered, and we were not content to huddle in cliff caves and subsist. We were determined to make a better life for ourselves. It is not about deserving. There is no pity in a storm, or a famine, or a slave raid. There are only victims and survivors. I am merely pointing out that it is difficult for fragmented, transient tribes to maintain control over their territory. And since the Huana are in no position to oust the slavers, that task falls to us. Allow me to illustrate. Were we less deserving of these things simply because we arrived later? Besides, the country we built was stronger, with roads, irrigation, and weather guards. For us, as well as the people, we organized. It is difficult for fragmented, transient tribes to maintain control over their territory. Far be it from me to tell you otherwise. It seems they arrived ahead of schedule. The Principi continue to bicker amongst themselves. And a restless beast is a dangerous one. Ferrante has cemented his leadership of the Principi. While he is less volatile than Aldis, he will doubtlessly grow bolder. Aldis now leads the Principi. Under her, they are more aggressive than ever. You have sown poison at the heart of the archipelago. I must know, why did you do this? We had plans for Crooksburg. A fleet sailing in from Rawatai would have docked at the harbor. They will have to turn back. It is too late. The storms they hit on the way here narrowed their window considerably. They will have already turned back by now. To preserve their supplies, I had to consider the need for secrecy. Besides, I had hoped that getting rid of the slavers would be reason enough. And risk you talking to the Valians? I studied you, thought it all through. You were never supposed to aid the slavers. And risk you talking to the Principe, and risk you talking to the Juana, and give the Valians and the Juana cause to unite against us? No. The Valians and the Principe will tear Deadfire asunder, and the Juana will stand by and let it happen. Deadfire is a troubled place, beset by all manner of predation and lawlessness. Adventure stories blame it on the fury of Helia's storms and the hunger of Andra's beasts. Historians like Maya's own dear brother would spin you a tale of isolation and trade booms. Historians like yourself would spin a tale of isolation and trade booms. Historians would spin you a tale of isolation and trade booms. All of that merely obscures the plain yet hard truth. The Juana lack the will to defend their homeland. Someone needs to defend the archipelago and its people. Do you understand? Just like your brethren. Who then will fight this battle? Your monarchs? The gods? And when storms wash our people from the cliffs of Rawatai, then will it be your fight? I expect better from a fellow trencher, and how much of the archipelago will remain when that happens? In any case, the Hazanui is arranging a final matter. If you truly wish to bring peace to the Deadfire, I suggest you speak with her. In any case, our attentions are now focused on Sayuka for now. I'm sure the Hazanui will summon you when the time is right. The fate of Deadfire is greater than the Juana people, just as your pursuit of Aothas is greater than you. If it were up to me, this would be the end of our business. But that is the Hazanui's decision, and she has requested an audience with you. If you would do your homeland a final service, speak with her. There is still a way you may help. If you would bring peace to Deadfire, speak with her. There is still a way you may help. Have you ever seen an Ailton caught between two foes? Seen the way it wavers from one to the next, forever torn between two minds? The only way forward for Deadfire is with unity and purpose. There can be no agreement with slavers and pilferers, and what would you have us do? Ask the Crown's permission to drive away the slavers that prey on her people? Or hunker down and hope the tumult here does not interrupt the shipments of food and supplies to Rawatai's shores? Much time is wasted ruminating. The future belongs to those who can conceive and seize it. Boldness and rashness are not the same thing. Our enemies would love nothing more than an excuse to move against us. Plenty. And it is our people in Rawatai who would suffer if their supply ships are needed for war. Perhaps I've given you too little credit. Still, this is not the right time. It has been brought to my attention that you ousted the slavers from Crooksburg, the Rukapa. They are the Ranganui's elite, and they would have provided the stability this region so sorely lacks. As am I. And make no mistake, the archipelago is in dire need of help such as yours. Far be it from me to suggest otherwise. I am merely grateful our motives aligned. Indeed. But the problem hardly begins or ends with the slavers. We will not. We shall ensure that the slavers do not return, By stationing one of our most elite fleets at Crookspur. I'm glad you agree. You're prudent, results-oriented. You strike me as someone who can appreciate the grand vision. You have a gentle heart. You want what's best for the people of Deadfire. You value truth and forthrightness, and I wish to be honest with you. I believe we have a common interest, and by continuing to work together, we can achieve both our objectives. A more stable Deadfire, and a meeting with Aothas. We will never resolve Deadfire's piracy and slavery problems with nice words. As much as I might like to. Deadfire could certainly use more people with your gumption. Few with abilities like yours would be so humble about them. Forgive me. It seems I forget myself. Yet the Valians toy with luminous Audra like a child who has discovered her mother's pistol. Forgive me. I deal with many different types of people. It's not always easy to discern what they're looking for. Allow me to state my request. The dukes are just as divided. Each schemes for the advancement of his own little fiefdom over the rest of the republics. There is a way for you to slow them down. It's not as critical as the Hazanui's delivery to Sayuka, but it is worth doing all the same. Can you blame us? We share the archipelago with unpredictable tribes and a league of pirates, and the Valians have made their hunger known. I see you received my message. This is good, because I have a matter of no small importance to discuss. I want to thank you. You've been a great help in Okaya's work. How do you mean that? As you wish. Are you making advances at me? Rawatai is composed of many types, but it's true, many here are soldiers and engineers. While I'm not opposed to casual assignations, I'm afraid my duties here leave me little time. Or energy. If that changes, I promise you'll be the first to know. It's for the best. This would be a most inconvenient time to begin an attachment, none of whom are especially diligent about paperwork. It comes from years of practice. It's the only way I've learned to beat Karanui at Hazatoa. It's a trading post, of course. I just did. Anything worth building is worth protecting. Once they're done, they'll leave behind a wrecked island and a tribe dependent on their resources. Even if this isn't the outcome we'd wanted for Poko Kahara, your observation is infinitely more valuable. Take this. And remember it the next time we call on you. You're being evasive, yet the change in the storms and in the Audra cannot be a coincidence. But it's a considerable start, a step toward understanding the catastrophic storms that have long made Rawatai the rough country. After all, if you're going to make friends in the Deadfire, you might as well choose the ones with the biggest cannons. After all, somebody has to keep the peace in these tumultuous times, no? And if you do, you'll find that the Royal Deadfire Company is a valuable and faithful ally. After all, those of us born to privilege have a responsibility to use it to noble ends, no? Work that may prove especially rewarding to someone with your background. I must thank you most humbly for your help. You've rendered Okaya and all of us a great service. Nothing stands in your way, does it? Nicely done at Sayuka. My apologies. I seem to have misjudged the situation. Of course, I am impressed. Oh, indeed. A great injustice plagues the archipelago, and we have an opportunity to end it. It isn't often one such as yourself has the opportunity to act without restraint. How would you like to rain your wrath down upon the slavers of Crookspur? The people of Deadfire have been sold a lie that we now have a duty to expose. Oh, but I wasn't trying to cast aspersions. Is it not noble and just to end this scourge? especially if the Juana cannot? We must end the slaver threat. Come. Do you truly need a reason to give these slavers what's coming to them? Especially if the Juana cannot do so themselves. Surely you and I are above pointless posturing. If we are in a position to end the slaver threat and the Juana are not, then we must be practical. As much as I would like to send our forces to fight the good fight alongside you, I'm afraid that would only cause trouble in other quarters. As much as it pains me to leave the bloodshed entirely to you, it would offend too many delicate sensibilities if we sent our own forces. And I'm sure I don't have to explain to you that it would be imprudent of us to send our own forces. I'm counting on that. Justice at last. We've done a good thing. You've done a good thing. Is there anything more satisfying than finding your foes at the end of your blade? Excellent. The entire archipelago will be better off without them. Excellent. They were a problem that sorely needed to be dealt with. Forgive me, I meant no slight to you, but I was not expecting them so soon. A show of force was needed. Cannons make a better warning than threats. Silence and prudence are faithful companions, are they not? We must be ready. You've done a noble thing. Once again, you show your foes no mercy. To think you were undermining one of the largest criminal enterprises in Deadfire. I studied you. I knew you had friends among the Valians, but I never foresaw you aiding the slavers. I studied you. I knew you had dangerous allies, but I never foresaw you aiding the slavers. I studied you. You're at odds with the Valians. You were never supposed to aid the slavers. I studied you. You're compassionate principle. You were never supposed to aid the slavers. So we must do everything we can to defend the archipelago and its people. The only way to prevent this is through overwhelming force. Fortunately, we've been making moves of our own, in secret. But we've thought this through. We have a plan. I think we should continue to focus on how we might help each other. Don't you? For a most noble cause, I assure you. We are people of action, are we not? We do not flinch from violence when it's called for. There are times when a seemingly drastic solution is the most practical. I see Maya has confided in you. It is a delicate matter, one best conducted with discretion. Yes, one day our bodies will perish and our souls will return to the wheel. But this will remain. Prolonging the soul is a fool's errand. Clinging to a grand past is vanity. Every word we've ever spoken, everything we've ever known will be forgotten with us. I want to take part in building something that will last beyond me. That is true immortality. Who we are. What does this even mean? Why the search for permanence in a transient existence? I am whatever the rough country needs me to be, but you and I have much to do, and little time to discuss philosophy. Few are in a position to accomplish as much as you are. Consider the work of the Engwithans. How much of it stands? How much has shaped our way of life? The key is to build well. Perhaps not. I can only hope our legacy will stand as long as the Engwithans, deeply. But if a small sacrifice here will discourage the Valians from further ventures, then it is a worthwhile risk. Rawatai is rich in saltpeter, copper, and a few other profitable minerals. We generally trade for food and timber, which grow poorly in the rough country. The Valians have become aggressive competitors in recent years, but our ships were plying the seas long before the republics declared independence. We learned the value of defending our goods and ships long ago. I do not think in years, Aimika. I think in centuries. A dangerous mix, especially with the Valian Trading Company becoming a power of its own. I'm afraid we have no further business. They are suspicious of outsiders, so approach them with caution, if at all. What's important is that you rid us of the slavers on Crookspur. The Wahaki congregate on an island called Ori-Okoiki. It means cursed land of corpses. So, it ends like this. I'm disappointed, Mairua. Rawatai will accomplish wonders with this place. It is a shame you won't be a part of them. Are you truly so short-sighted? Aothas will finish his work, and whatever comes next, I will see that Rawatai survives. It once did. Now it is ours to take. They will leave it in shambles, just as their forefathers made a ruin of their empire. I shall not let that happen. This was never personal. This is about something greater than either of us. Crave da fila thirlim. Quete silmes mitum. Where they build and Saul. Croacten. Zakritu. Ixmaru. Asmeruatien Shaba. Gidirashwar Walbenyem. Rombadia Jessindolo. Uluten Moet Ixiana Davaru Bion Sik Brit Ulikna Atek Word and Roth. Huh? As one! As one! As one! As one! As one! As one! Forth to battle! Forth to battle! Forth to battle! Death take you! Death take you! Death take you!